Hi guys, I thought I'll do a quick video on how to install CodeIgniter, which is a really popular PHP-based web application development stack on Amazon EC2. Amazon EC2 stands for Elastic Computing Cloud, which is a service that Amazon offers to host your website or web service to make it a little more accessible and scalable over the internet. Okay, so first thing first, in order to do that, you'll have to sign up with aws.amazon.com. Once you sign up, you can log in. I already have signed up, so I'm just going to log into my dashboard. Once you're in, these are all the services that Amazon offers. You can see a lot of services. Select the Amazon EC2. And I already have an instance running, so you can see I have instance running over here. There's some information on my instance. I'm going to do is I'm going to click on launch instance and then select the classic wizard. I like that. And over here I'm going to go to community AMIs, and you can select any flavor of Ubuntu that you like, or for that matter you can even select Windows or any flavor of Linux. But for this demonstration I'm going to select this flavor of Ubuntu. It takes a second to come up. Alright, it's there, so I'm going to select this flavor, and then this is the workflow that's going to walk you through to boot up the machine. So this is the page where it's asking for a number of instances and the kind of instance. So I'm going to select micro, which is the one that Amazon offers for free for 1 year after you sign up with AWS account. Next up is instance details. I'm going to select the default options, no changes there. I'm going to select the default option here as well. Over here is the key step. I already have some security key pairs, so that's why I'm seeing the drop down. For this exercise I'm gonna show you how to create a security key pair. You can just click on the create a new key pair and select a name. Let's just call it test3 or maybe test4. I have test3, and click on the link below, and that should bring up this PEM file. You're gonna save that into your local hard disk. You're gonna use that in a bit. I'll show you how to use it. Next up is the security group settings, and if you haven't already created a security group, you can create one here. I'm going to call it test4 as well. What it is basically a custom TCP rule. You can select any kind of rules if you want, UDP, HTTP, DNS, whatever you want to. But essentially what it is you select the port range. For this demonstration I'm going to select 20 to 100 and select the IP addresses from which these port ranges can be accessed. All 0 stands for all IP addresses, which is kind of a default option, and we'll go with that for this demonstration. But you can make the rules as restrictive as you want to. There it is. That's it. And then if you hit launch, it should boot up the machine. It takes about a minute, so I'm going to pause the video real quick. Alright, now you can see it's up and running. If you click on the instance you just created, you'll get some information over here. The most important information is the public DNS name. Here, this is the name that you'll use to access the box. You can also use Elastic IP to access the box, and I'll kind of maybe do another video to show you how to do that. Essentially, Amazon allocates public IPs, and you can associate that with your box, and you can, instead of using this ugly long name, you can use the public IP to access the box. Same thing. Once you do that, you're going to copy it over because you're going to need this later. Did I copy that over? I'm just going to overwrite that. Sorry. Is that the right name? 23 looks like it. Okay. So once you do that, then let's actually go back to the the key that we just downloaded. Let's actually open the key that you just downloaded, copy it over into a folder of your choice. I'm going to just copy it over to my test folder here. Sorry. I'm just going to copy it over to my test folder. And then you're going to use PutIGen, which is a software that you can download from the same site from which you can download PuTTY. And PutIGen essentially will load this file. You're going to load the file, select all files, you're going to load the file and then convert that into a PPK format that PuTTY understands. And you can see this is an RSA key. Make sure the SSH2 RSA option is selected. If you want, you can select the key phrase but that's not required. Makes it a little more secure if you need to. Save the key. Once you load the key, just save the key as a private key, and you can call it anything you want. Call it test4. Close it now. You're all set here. Now you're gonna open up PuTTY, and then for the hostname field, you're gonna use the URL that we copied there. Use that, and then you're gonna go over to the SSH options. Under there, you'll see an auth option. Over there in the private key file field, you're gonna browse to the folder where you have the private key, and you select the private key. That should be it. And go back to session and open the session, and select yes. Select Ubuntu as the username. There you go. You're inside the box now. Make sure you use Ubuntu as a username, and different flavors of boxes, AMIs they call it, have different usernames, so you're mindful what flavor of box you're using. So first thing first, once you're inside the box, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna install. You can see where you are. You're gonna update the package database. The way you do that is you do apt-get update. Takes about a few seconds. Okay, so you're done. Next thing, before you can install CodeIgniter, it runs on Apache and it uses PHP. So you have to install LAMP stack on the box. The easiest way to install LAMP, which stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP, is to use the task cell command. This will bring you up to this page, and then over here, select LAMP server. That's all you need. Select that, and then it should walk you through the steps. It'll ask you for the password from MySQL. Select some password, and that's it. It takes about a minute to install. I'm going to pause the video here real quick. Alright, it's done. So now, if it's the way you can check make sure the installation is correct, is you're going to go to etc Apache 2, and over here you should see sites enabled. Let me actually increase the font so it's easier for you guys to see it. Change settings, appearance, change font to, let's say, 14. Much better. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over to the Apache 2, and then under sites enabled, there should be one default file over here. You should be able to see the document root. This is the folder which Apache reads and interprets and then renders over to the browser whenever a client tries to access it. So this is where you'll be dumping all your PHP and HTML files. So let's see what's in there. If you go over to index.html, a simple file. So let's try to access this file page, I mean to say. Go over to your browser, close this, go over to your browser and try and access that. There it is, it works. So that means Apache is working. So let's actually put a PHP file and make sure PHP is working before we can copy the CodeIgniter in there. So I'm just going to create a basic PHP file. It's called the PHP info command over there. Okay, I don't have the permission, so always make sure you have the permission before you do anything here. Okay, let's try and access the file. What you're going to do is the URL/test.php. Okay, it's not working. This happens sometimes after installation. Sometimes you need to restart Apache for it to take effect. And the way you do that is you just select Apache and then just do a restart, and that should restart Apache. Let's see if it works now. Okay, the URL works. Test.php. Alright, PHP seems to be working. You should be able to see all the environment details over here. You should see a block on MySQL as well. There it is, block on MySQL. You should be able to see all the modules that are running and loaded up in PHP. I'm not going to go into the details. So next up, so once that is running, you want to make sure that you have the permissions set properly here. By default, it will have root access, root ownership. So you want to change that into Ubuntu, so you can copy stuff over without having to fight with it. So there it is. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to copy over a basic installation of CodeIgniter into in there. So the way we'll do that is we'll use WinSCP, which is a popular tool used to connect to different machines. You'll need the DNS name again, so copy it over into the hostname field. Use the username, the private key file, same private key file. Use that. Uses SFTP protocol. Log into the box. And now over here, left hand side is your machine, right hand side is the target machine. Navigate over to the folder where you have your installation of CodeIgniter. So this is my installation of CodeIgniter, and I'm going to navigate over to var www folder so I can directly copy it over there. I'm just going to drag and drop it over here. Right? It takes about a couple of minutes. So I'm going to pause the video right here. Alright, so it looks like it's done copying. So next up, what you're going to do is you're already in the var folder. You're going to go to www and affiliate folder, the program folder. This is the project that I have created using CodeIgniter. You can see there's an application, a systems folder, just like CodeIgniter comes with a default installation. And under applications, you'll see the basic setup, the controllers package, the controllers folder, the models folder, the views folder, the basic installation of CodeIgniter. And over here, so let's actually try and see if you can access this from the browser. So the way to access it is the DNS name and followed by the folder name you have in www directory, and that should load the default controller for your installation. So let's see. So this is my default. This is my default controller loading main. The reason it looks like this, almost kind of. The reason it looks like this is because the CSS and the JavaScript files are not. It's not able to locate those. What I'm going to do is, let's see if we can change the different controller and bring up a different page that you guys are familiar with. So under applications config, if you just change the default route to from main to welcome, which is the default controller, then you should be able to see a different screen which you're familiar with, and that is it. That's the default screen. So that's basically the basic steps to install CodeIgniter. There are several tweaks you can make to Apache as well as to CodeIgniter to remove index.php file, do some other customizations. If you have any questions on that, let me know. I'll do another follow-up video. Otherwise, this is it. Hopefully you've learned something new. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you.